Peace and welcome to this www.vibegarden.org broadcast. We're going to end today's synchronized reading. We're going to have a look at the day's energies. If you have tuned into this message, even if it's 3 years after it posted, it has something for you. This is a synchronized reading, so it synchronizes with what you need to hear when you need to hear it. All right, you're being carried right now, y'all. Those of you who are tuning in, this applies to all of you. There's a transitional energy, and you can't make this stuff up because a card, Forgive the Past, and it has a skull on it with a heart near the third eye. It's in the crossroads placement for this spread. So yeah, you're in a transitional energy. This could take maybe about a day. It's about you now. It's about you now, y'all. Some of you may be having experiences with mediumship. This can be happening in the dream time or in brief visions. And then there can be matching synchronicities that show up in the world following that. The spirit world's way of telling you, your ancestors' way of telling you, or your guide's way of telling you, your spiritual guidance, that yes, they sent that message. And you know what I'm saying? Yes, that message was from them. Those who have authority over the time points where they can arrange synchronicities. There's a Palladian card, Joy for the Flower Girls, as the overall energy card for the reading. This is really speaking about deep healing. This is about what's for you showing up. You have True Love is True Divine Magnetics as well as a supporting card, and Intertwined Soul Recognition and Paradise Manifest Flourish Within. So this is about how you magnetize your needs to you. This very much vibrates at what feels like primordial levels of pre-etheric preparation, right? For, areas like of preparation before incarnation, things of that nature. Like it feels like there's deep healing taking place to the family line in key areas. I feel like professional areas that have to do with engagements. There's an aspect of releasing the past right now, and I think this can be a very painful past, and has been a painful past. I think this is, and it feels like a grade school kind of energy, like really mean or vicious treatment. They look like thick cords. Spirit's trying to show me are being cut as we speak. So you could have some lower back pain for up to a week. It doesn't have to be for that long, but it's possible it could be that way. So do plan to work in bursts or work in sessions. There's an emphasis on planning what you're going to do ahead of time, taking some notes, scratch sheet or whatever, so that you can honestly kind of compartmentalize your thinking enough that you mentally prepare in advance, and you move, props about Behemoth, you move in your zone, right? You move from one spot to the, you know what I'm saying, the next alignment, the next arrangement or scene, timeline configuration. Deep, deep healings taking place. Deep, deep healing. So more than have hope, like it's corrected. This is that moment where if you were concerned whether or not certain recurrent, patterns that were unjust, very painful, and ultimately unnecessary past a certain point, if you were concerned that that would persist, it's been corrected. Now is the recuperation time. Now is knowing when you're putting too much energy out. Respecting your magnetics. Respect your magnetics. Respect your magnetic body. Really for the next month. So this is going to mean be conscious of your time. This is shift related. This does have to do with light anchoring. You've put so much work into it, and you've done like so much in the way of good deeds, kindnesses towards other people, consideration, sincerity, proper alignment, integrity, that it's assured that you will be anchored in light at the higher timeline. But how fast you get to, that's assured, but how fast you get to enjoy the fruits of it on the earth plane has everything to do with how much you are being gentle with your etheric body. And that's going to mean proper habits. This is star supported. The South Node is in Virgo. So paying attention to your physical care, eating fresh foods if you can, you know what I'm saying? Like as much as you can, that's going to be important. Time outside, spending time, with earth. Herbal teas, rooibos tea is coming up, is very good. Very good tea to help with strengthening at the root chakra level, but particularly in the areas of structure. What strengthens you, what holds you up. That's where the deep healing is occurring. You have the Bliss Cocoon card as the activator card. It is an 8. And it's from the Sublime Vibes Oracle. This card is returning you to positions in this energy. You're being returned to positions of the past where you were in a state of empowerment and you were well on your way to succeed. So, this is deep etheric repairs are taking place. Deep etheric repairs. You can feel this. There might be a feeling of humming at the crown chakra, when you get into states of deep relaxation. This is extremely deep healing. You're in your next episode, so do try to remember that, and do try to not even try. Do, right? Because eclectic, magnetic, and free and goes with the free and clear next episode card in your areas of like level up advice. You're so supported, it's not even funny. What's been arranged moving forward it's like a total path correction. So yeah, you might be feeling a little different right now, y'all. Do things you enjoy, expose, yourself to experiences you'll enjoy. This is an area for divine feminines, even if you're not with your divine masculine. But this is an area where your divine masculine's level of consciousness is that his heart shines for you. All of his heart shines for you. That's the card. All my heart shines for you. It's a crystalline card. Dream Forever is the shared supportive baseline for this card. there are opportunities, right, that can be made available to us. But if we are not looking at ourselves from through a healthy lens, if our self-image has incurred some damages, it can be difficult for us to align with what's really for us. We might carry ourselves with our shoulders slumped, so to speak, like even if it's just symbolic, right? We might carry ourselves in a way where we're not moving towards what's actually for us. We might continually allow distractions to throw us off. This is not necessarily, you're not necessarily being asked to look at that kind of behavioral pattern right now, because a lot of this, it's part of this repair process. You're moving into a time of supported intentional manifestation with a lot of cosmic support. A lot of cosmic support. Their solar plexus chakra level ups. The way you carry yourself, just more ease in carrying yourself with confidence. This is the energy that you are actually, it's a smooth kind of swift, but you are swiftly moving into that, and aligning where it's clicking in. This will be more so normalized by December. For those who are listening from the time this is posted, and for those of you who are not, this will be more so normalized in about 4.5 months. Within 4.5 months, we'll say within, because it could be within that time span. Maybe moving towards the third month more than the fourth month. For some of you, you're going to be able to hold yourself with your shoulders high, because whatever was trying to detract from your path, it was at a root chakra level. And higher angelic has been involved in this to correct this. It's like a big old investigation. It's been corrected. It's been corrected, like where it connects even on societal levels. So if there were things that were trying to affect your social standing and what you could have access to, that is being corrected as well. Nostalgia could be big for the next couple of weeks. That could be a big thing. Just music from the past, movies from the past. That could be good for inner child healing. Make yourself some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and watch watch the Goonies, or Labyrinth for some of you, with David Bowie, or The Never Ending Story. You're protected. You're protected in your dreaming forever. But actualizing those dreams on the earth plane, that requires alignment. And it starts with the head. It starts with how you think. And we can train ourselves into better thought patterns. It was necessary to reformat what was going on deeper conscious levels, things that impacted your perception of self in your formative years. But now you're moving into enjoying the sturdiness that comes of that work. As you rise into a higher alignment of your perception of self. Dreamscapes can be important. You could be seeing some interesting dreamscapes. Some of you could put together a dreaming board, right? And you might put together a dreaming board with scapes that, you might be an artist or writer, and this helps to put you in the mood for your writing. But these things can also show up in the dream time, these dreamscapes. Or you could have graduated to a level of third eye development emanating through the crown chakra, where you have a larger sway over the scapes that show up in your dream time experience. That's going to apply to maybe half of you who tune in and listen progressively. And the rest of you will just be experiencing deeper, more peaceful sleep patterns while there are dream releases. So some of you may be dealing with dream releases for the family line, and you'll know because like family members will come up in dreams. Family members who've crossed over will come up in dreams, and these will be recurring themes for the next 3 to 4 years. For a very small, well, maybe not a very small, but like maybe like 10% of you, could be up to 7 years on and off. Not with that being the only thing that you're dreaming, that like, I don't know, 10% of you or whatever. You have your, I give thanks. You have your heart is your compass as your shift card. Moving forward, this is going to be the way to align with nearly everything you connect with. What is your heart telling you? This is your compass. This is literally with how you are traversing interspatial reality, which is a big deal, bigger deal maybe than we've been taught in that way, right? With those sorts of terminologies, but it is a huge deal. There are some people where you don't need to know what's behind the door. Something's telling you don't open that door. Don't walk into that connection. You know what I'm saying? Like without knowing what you're getting into. And I do think this is important right now because you're in a tender space of recuperation after deep pre-etheric realignments. That cosmic elders oversaw, higher angelic signed off on. You know what I'm saying? So some of you might benefit from working with aquamarine and journaling intentionally. Some of you might be getting engaged, married. Some of you might be getting aligned with your divine partner. But the alignment also at a pre-etheric level is for an appointed time. So it may not mean that you're connected to this person in the physical at this time, but you're being aligned so that your paths do come into a physical alignment or dream time alignment. Some of you are working on pathways that are more telepathic in nature, higher soul accords. There may be like great distance for the two of you, and yet you're still working together. This has to do with etheric rejuvenation of family lines at very key points: work, profession, marriages, births of children, and transitions out of this world. There's a deep rejuvenation in these areas of light. It is Syrian light. There are also cosmic waves that come in from Lyra, and cosmic waves that come in on an Arcturian level that are part of the framework. So they come in on a rhythm. All right, y'all. So if you were feeling like, what the hell going on? Again, you might be dealing with back pain. Some of y'all might have like maybe a little bit of like frontal cortex. Is it frontal cortex or neocortex? I think it's frontal cortex. Forgive me, y'all. It's sometimes challenging for me, like if I'm in a trance mode doing a reading, to fully access, right, like the analytical mind, like certain definitions and things of that nature just kind of depends. But it's the front of the head. If you're feeling, sensations there, this does have to do with this pre-etheric repair, which is 100% Syrian, 100% the Syrian star system. So those y'all who know, I definitely do align, right, with reporting on the ascension and reporting on certain realities that are aligned with being a star seed, or a cosmic journeyman or journeywoman. A lot of corrections are being made, y'all. So if you were feeling any kind of way today, it's okay. It's okay. And even though this is synchronized reading, this is it's the 20th today. The date that this was posted, and there's a revival energy with that number. That's the judgment card in the tarot, is the 20. That's a scorpionic degree in astrology, so death and regeneration. And I feel like in this regeneration of energies, you're transmuting energies that are unable and unfit to go on into this golden chapter, to go any further with you in your journey. There's an aspect of them having to undergo a transformation, for whatever their chapters will be. So really take care of yourself. I don't want to go too long with this. There can be some sacral chakra healing because the sex talk card from the Kiss Oracle came up. There's a Palladian energy to this, so it definitely does feel pleasant. And this doesn't necessarily have to speak necessarily full on of sexuality itself, but in terms of sex, having a womb, you know what I mean? Healing that area, or if you have been mistreated, you know what I'm saying? Or there are aspects of your family line that are being healed because of, pains and indignities that were suffered simply because of, being born a woman. These are things that they're being healed at this time. It's reaching that deep into the psyche, the structural, formational aspects of psyche, where codes are passed from family member to family member who comes into the earth, who's born into the etheric weave, at the time, and really who comes in at the time of conception. So whatever work you've done, bravo. This is showing up in the area of manifest emanation. So this is very, very good. This is such a deep healing. There's so much protection energy around this. There can also, if you're a male, right, there can also be this aspect of the men who've been pushed or forced, it's in certain ways to move stoically, have no emotions, don't show emotions, right? There can be healing along these lines of realizing you have the right to acknowledge your emotional experience, less of this really negative projection upon men, as if they're just meant to work, bring home the bread, and have no feelings and just live to, you know what I'm saying, as a fixture in their own lives. There's a healing taking place for, for both of the sexes, for the feminine and the masculine. And it's super important because it speaks about societal roles and very deeply buried resentments that have to come up at this time so that the hostility can be drained away and there can be rejuvenation, because at some point things have to come back to a harmonic to work. And so this is very serious work. I hope y'all have found this helpful. I'm going to close out here. For those of you who would like to book for a private session and have a deeper look into these energies or other matters that are on your mind, you can go to www.vibegarden.org. And for the rest of the month, so I guess that's 11 days, you will, whether you're a member or not, you will be able to book at the $45 rate of $77 for the remainder of August. So you can actually be a visitor and tap into this. You can be new to Vibe Garden. You can be new to Healing Lights Collective. That will definitely be available over the next 11 days. For those of you who are members, it'll be $66. All right, so membership starts at $1.11 for people who are looking to be able to tap into the different benefits. Usually I hook up the members lovely with discounts and that sort of thing. So you can visit the website with inquiries about that and keep an eye on the channel. We have some energy healings coming up, and I'll definitely be tapping in with more readings, as they're more so, as it's timely, as there's an energy to speak on. Have a wonderful one. Stay excellent. Keep your head up. Keep shining, but do be very, very, very gentle with yourself, because you are in alignment with success. You're on the winning road. But keep in mind, where this is the earth plane, where there's a process taking place down here. There's an ascension process, and it is important that you are moving in the way that supports your path. So create work sessions for yourself and work your way up to a stronger sense of flow in your habits. Again, at the time of this recording, and I know this is a synchronized reading, but at the time of this recording, the South Node's in Virgo. You know what I'm saying? So your habits are key. They're a really, really big thing. You want to make sure you avoid unnecessary levels of burnout, because y'all, I feel like you'll pay for it if you push yourself towards burnout. And overall, in closing, give yourself a good 3-4 months, right? Just overall, to introduce yourself to yourself again. There's a rebirth happening here. There's a regeneration process happening here. You might require more time with yourself. You might require time only with the trusted, right? For the time frames, those that are truly trusted in your life. For the time frames where you feel like it's not too much for your energy body to make contact with another person. Be gentle with yourself. These have been serious, serious transformations that we've dealt with, not to mention that we've passed through the generational patterns that we've broken. You break in patterns, you got to create new ones and then get used to those new patterns. So all of this is on par with what we've known we've been passing through. Again, I hope you found this helpful. I do appreciate y'all. Thank you, you gems who are liking, sharing, and subscribing. That does help us to support. Bless you. Thank you to those who go that extra mile, and you're assisting, with donations and that sort of thing with myself and Natou Ma'at. And you can check, if you're interested in doing that, you can check the description area for any links to that would help connect you with us on a donation level. It is super appreciated, and we will. I will. I mean, I have to talk to her about it. I can't just be saying what she'll do, but we'll be doing the shout outs, y'all, on that. So thank you so much. Take care. Peace.